Views and opinions expressed in this program are those of the participants and do not necessarily reflect the views of BRONXNET or the program underwriters.
Hola everyone, welcome to Open, the one and only show bringing the best of the Bronx, New York, and the world straight to you. I'm Rina Valenti, your host of Café con Leche every Friday. Let's take a look at what's coming up in today's show. Leading off the show, we'll share some fun events for the entire family to enjoy this weekend. Then we welcome back health and nutrition expert Nancy Addison, who will share the benefits of becoming a vegetarian. After that, we get an exclusive look at the 2016 Real Bronx International Film Festival with producers Jerry Landi and Sal Amore. Hello and welcome back to Open, everyone. The Real Bronx International Film Festival is back. This year, it's going to be taking place from June 3rd through June 5th at the Mott Haven Bar and Grill, striving to be on par with all the other film festivals taking place throughout New York. This festival honors and brings together filmmakers from the borough of the Bronx and beyond. And joining us now to share more about this year's festival, we welcome the Real Bronx International Film Festival producers, Jerry Landi, Sal Amore, and Marc Makowski. Hello and welcome, gentlemen.
Good morning. How you doing?
We are fabulous here early in the morning on a Friday.
I just wanted to apologize because many years I gave you a very inappropriate hug at a Bronx Week party. And when I walked in, I said, I remember you. I never forget a pretty face. So I just want to apologize.
Oh, it's Tootsie Roll.
You were dressed up in all kinds of sweaters and stuff, and I thought it was really cute. And I gave you a very inappropriate hug. So I'm sorry.
He's actually admitting that on air.
Why not? I got to come clean. I got to come clean.
Well, thank you for coming
Thank
clean.
You. I gotta come clean. I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry.
You know, I don't even remember that. That's the sad part.
The sad part, he remembers it.
I remember. I remember.
The sad part is
I remember every inappropriate thing I've ever done.
Oh my God.
And he brought it up on camera.
I know. And how many years ago was that?
I think
4 years ago.
We were promoting Raccoon. So,
And yeah, which is also going to be in the film festival.
No.
I read something about Raccoon.
Well, it's a famous movie.
It's a famous movie.
We
All
also
right.
had the last original Bronx premiere of it at the Lowe's American Theater, where the theater we had was approximately 379 people, and we had over 420 people show up for the screening.
That's
wonderful. In 35 years, we had the first real Bronx screening, because when they had the movie The Warriors at the old RKO Fordham, that stopped them from ever doing screenings in the Bronx.
Wow. We got history too, okay?
Film history.
I love it. Yeah. Okay, so who wants to talk first? Well, you already opened up, so I guess he's the front man here.
Yes, Mr. Landi will talk.
We started.
Wait, I don't even know who's who. How's that?
Landi, Amore, Makowski.
Well,
Oh my gosh,
Jerry's
you're
the-
going by last name. Landi
our next
Amore.
movie. That's our
I'm
next
gonna talk
movie.
to Amore.
We started the film festival
Go ahead.
last year. The three of us have had a lot of experience doing the film festival circuit, and we met a lot of people from the Bronx in California, Buffalo, whatever. So we said, wow, why don't we get all these Bronx filmmakers in our neighborhood, and why don't we do a festival here in the Bronx? So we started last year. All the money was given to charity. We do a lot of charity events with our films. We just did one with the Bronx Bigfoot for the veterans. So we're very much into giving back. So when we did the festival last year, we got such a great response that the three of us sat down and said, well, let's try to make it bigger and better. And we did. So now we have Joe at Mott Haven Bar and Grill has been so nice to us. It's a great screening room. We have some great films, and we want to promote Bronx filmmaking. There's a lot of talent in the Bronx that people don't know about. And you know, I met a Bronx filmmaker in Buffalo, of all places. I go, where do you live? He goes, I live on Pelham Parkway. I'm like, Pelham Parkway? I'm Locust Point. We're neighbors. So that's how this all started, and we got a good turnout last year, and hopefully we'll get a bigger one this year.
Well, it sounds like you're ready. I mean, Makowski here.
Makowski's a big guy. He's a big guy.
Yeah, I have a movie coming out next week that I worked on. That's a major film coming out next week.
He's a big guy. We're lucky to have him.
The problem that you have when you do a film festival like this is, one, there isn't many movie theaters left in the Bronx. As you know, there's only two. There's the one on 161st Street, and there's the one in Co-op City. The last singular-owned theater was the Lowe's American, which is closed down. So it's very hard to get a theater involved in a project like this, where they don't want a massive amount of money. Basically, we're doing the festival ourselves with no help, our own pocket. And we're charging people for certain blocks. And on June 3rd, the opening night, we're having a big gala for the filmmakers who are participating, and guests and the press. I'm very happy to announce that the Mott Haven Bar and Grill Performance Center, especially for Joseph and Rosa, they stepped up to the plate and gave us the space for free. And
That's
it's a
great.
really good place. I've been there. If you've ever been there, you know it's really a
Yes,
great
yes, we
place.
all know.
They have great performance center there, and they stepped up to the plate. And to run a festival like this, we're trying to highlight that when you have so much negativity in Bronx, there's a side of it that you have real people that are creative in the Bronx that don't get a chance to show their films out there. And the problem that you have is that when you hear you're from the Bronx, sometimes it's almost like a negative stereotype, and it's not. So
No.
what we're trying to do
love
with
the Bronx.
Sal, and I do too, even though I do a lot of work
You from the
outside.
Bronx?
Yes,
We're all from
born
the
and
Bronx.
We're all from
We
the
still
Bronx.
live the Bronx,
I
yes.
just want to make sure. I just want
No,
to make
no,
sure. I
no,
love
no.
it. I
Can't
love
you
it.
we're
tell
just-
by our non-accents?
We're just giving a
Oh
chance
no,
for
I
all
was
the.
just waiting for somebody to say hashtag what piano district.
No, no, no.
We're-
Well, that could
Can
be
I say
happening
that?
shortly.
We're just going to give all filmmakers a chance to get their film shown out of the Bronx.
There's shorts, there's features, there's a lot of really good stuff. As a fact, one of the films we have has one of this year's Bronx Week's honorees. Vincent Pastore is in one of our films that we're showing. We're not
Nice.
showing it as Bronx Week film. It just is a good film to show, and it's a completely different film from most of our genres because it's a gangster movie.
Yep. He's like, oh, I'm proud. It's a gangster movie.
Well, it's a well, yeah,
No,
but
I love
Well,
it.
Bronx
But it's
Bigfoot.
It's a guy thing. It's a guy thing.
Bronx
you know, I
Bigfoot's
get it.
revolved around
Sal is the
gangsters.
star of the movie that's going to be the feature. So
So
That's
you wanna
that's
talk a little bit
premiering
about that?
opening night.
let Sal talk about the movie. He's
Yes.
the star.
yeah.
So on opening night,
Right.
Friday, June 3rd, we are premiering Bronx Bigfoot. And this is really special to us, to me, Jerry, and Marc, because all through the years, we always promoted other people through our festival and did the right thing by that. And, you know, but this year we said, you know what, this is a really well-made movie. It's very entertaining. And we said, let's make it the opening night movie for our festival.
Can I get a little synopsis of it?
Yeah, go ahead, Jerry. Give him the synopsis.
It's all Bronx shot, so it's really funny. We had a premiere a couple of weeks, and people are like, oh, I know that. Oh my God, I live there, and that's what we're very Bronx centric.
Nice.
We hire Bronx actors, Bronx filmmakers, Bronx caterers, everything we do in the Bronx. So this is what would happen if a Bigfoot wound up in the Bronx, and how would Bronx people react to a Bigfoot?
Just
And
the thought of it. Just the thought of it has me like.
well, we had a screening a couple of weeks ago, and we always sit in the back of the theater to listen to the reactions, and people were dying. And I would like to say that we actually had 2 films that we were going to premiere in the movie.
Yes.
And what happened was post-production on film sometimes goes on for months, and they couldn't get done. They were still in post, so we couldn't get their films in. Next year, we're going to put them in the festival because they're really good films. But they said, you know, Jerry, we're not going to be able to get it. So we wound up using The Bronx Bigfoot as our opening movie because it's a Bronx film. It's all Bronx, and people, you know, we go.
And not only that, you set the standards.
Yeah, we like
Bigger
having
and better,
fun.
actually,
Yeah,
because we created a term called Bronx centric, which means is even though Jerry's doing a lot of work, he's progressed. Sal actually wears 2 hats many times. Not only is he
What are
one
those
of the
hats?
actors. Well, we keep him off the set. It's not polite. but,
Yeah.
but I got to. But
You
Sal, the
guys
one
are
thing about
hilarious.
Sal is sometimes you have a UPM when you're not paying people or a little. They don't show up because everybody wants to become a star.
Right.
Sal steps up to the plate many times and wears 2 hats.
On all our
He
films.
becomes what's known as the UPM, the unit production manager, which unfortunately is a hard job because it's the first one to arrive, last one to leave, and Sal has done that
Plus,
many
I'm
times.
the lead
lead
role,
actor.
so I have to concentrate on acting, plus getting everybody else ready on set. And
Couldn't do it without Sal.
You know.
Sal's our, yes.
but I
We're
grew.
a
I
team.
started at 40 years old, acting. 9 years later, I'm here and doing great. But Bronx Bigfoot is a great movie. It revolves around. No, it revolves around.
I'm just saying, Bronx Bigfoot.
Well,
I'm like,
yeah,
does he
how
even
can't
make
you-
it into the Bronx?
Oh,
Yes, he
yeah,
does.
Yes, he
Well,
does.
It's like the,
Yes, he
if
does.
you look at zombie movies like Walking Dead, they're very popular. Why? Not because of the zombies, it's the reaction to a scenario that you're thrust into. So what happens with the Bronx if you put a Bigfoot in there? You know, there's always sightings of the
Havoc
big.
happens.
What do they do?
So much havoc.
But also, like I said, we have a lot of good films in this film festival this year from all different kinds of genres. It wound up being a pretty much of a horror film festival this year, I guess
Yes.
because we make horror films.
Right.
But we have a couple of different films, and I urge everybody to come out that weekend because it's a lot of fun. The filmmakers are going to be introducing their films. They're going to be there at the screenings. We also have Lloyd Kaufman, if you guys know Trauma, he's going to be appearing
Creator of
with one of the
Toxic
movies.
have any
Avenger,
questions?
Class in Nukem High.
She's
Yeah,
looking.
we just
All
bombarding
all
you.
30
She's
versions
looking.
of
No,
them.
I just
Still
no, I
looking.
was just looking at the dates because they're wrapping us up, and I
Yes.
know that we still have time to kind of just
Well, he'll be
reintroduce
there
this
on-
festival.
Well, if
again.
you want, well, June 5th, the 6 o'clock block, Lloyd Kaufman will be there, as well as Roy Frumkes. Roy Frumkes is the screenwriter and the creator of the Substitute series. The first one had Tom Berenger in it, where he's a merc who goes into a school, sort of puts the kids in line, military style. And then there was 3 made for TV with Treat Williams.
I never went, yeah.
But you know, not the teacher you want, unless you're, you know, as long as you're good. But he's going to be there. So if you want, so
This
if they're
is nice, this is
aspiring
great.
writers, he'll be standing up saying how he broke into the industry, as well as he's a professor at SVA, also in screenwriting. In fact, Jerry's one of his students.
You know, you guys, I got to tell you, they're wrapping us up, and I just really enjoy speaking to all of you. I love watching all 3 of you together. You definitely
You gotta
compliment
work with
each
us on
other,
our movies, see
We
we
compliment each other, right? Yes.
just as long as it's not Bigfoot.
No, but there's
And I'm
other,
gonna give
there's
you a
other
VIP
homicidal
pass
things
for
we
the
can think of
opening night.
doing to you.
What'd you say?
Homicidal things we can do. I do
Homicidal
special, I do special effects.
I'm
Can
gonna
he,
pro-
can he be the victim?
Inappropriate hugs are all I do.
But I would like to invite you for opening night.
You should
VIP
come.
pass.
Please
We'll
come
give you-
opening
yeah,
night.
please come.
Okay, so I just need a reminder.
We'll know you,
Well,
just
yeah,
come.
all right,
We'll
all
send
right,
it to you.
okay.
Okay, so you want me to remind you?
We'll remind you. I'll come
Okay.
knock on your door. I know we do.
No. Keep this going.
Don't
Wait,
forget.
Don't be inappropriate advance.
Don't
All right,
forget
guys.
Bronx Bigfoot. Go rent it on Vimeo. Vimeo.com. You can get Bronx Bigfoot rented, buy it, own it.
That's how we make a living. That's how we feed our
Our
families.
I see
festival,
you.
June
That's how they
3rd
make
to
It's
the
beautiful. It's beautiful, and you and I gotta say, I'm proud of you guys. I'm
Thank
proud of you
you
guys
so much.
for giving it back too.
Thank
Yes,
you.
we try to
Well,
give
when we
back a
did our
lot.
first, when we did Blood Marsh Raccoon,
I know, I think it's
out of
wrap
the
up.
budget, 90% of it went straight into the Bronx.
Nice.
And our last screening, we did we donated all the money we made to the veterans post that they let us film for free
VFW.
there.
That's
So
awesome.
we love to give back. So one day we could get
They're gonna
back.
kick us
Nice.
out. They're going
Yeah,
like this.
I know.
They're
It's all good. It's all good. It's all good. Thank you guys. Once again, the Real Bronx International Film Festival is taking place from Friday, June 3rd through Sunday, June 5th at the Mott Haven Bar and Grill, located on 1 Bruckner Boulevard in the Bronx. And for more information, you can check out their Facebook page, the Real Bronx International Film Festival 2016. Coming up next, we have Bobby C's Weekly Sports Roundup. Don't go anywhere.